Right now, you're losing focus, not because you're weak, but because the world is designed to make you forget who you are. Every sound, every notification, every meaningless headline, it's not noise anymore. It's a weapon. You wake up, and before your feet even touch the floor, your mind is already somewhere else. Scrolling, reacting, consuming. You tell yourself you'll focus today. You'll work on your goals. But the day dissolves into fragments. Tiny distractions that steal your attention piece by piece until nothing is left but exhaustion and guilt. And here's the painful truth. You don't lose focus all at once. You lose it in small compromises. Every time you check your phone, every time you chase validation, every time you tell yourself, just 5 minutes. The Stoics understood this thousands of years ago. They didn't have smartphones or social media, but they faced the same internal war. Marcus Aurelius, a man who ruled an empire, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The Stoics were not philosophers sitting quietly in gardens. They were warriors of the mind, people who learned how to focus in chaos, how to stay grounded while the world screamed for their attention. Today, you're going to learn how to do the same. These are 5 Stoic rules to stay focused when life tries to distract you. Not theories, not motivational slogans, but practical ways to train your mind to cut through chaos and live with power, direction, and peace. Rule 1. Guard your attention like a fortress ****. The first rule is simple. Your attention is your most valuable possession. Guard it like your life depends on it, because it does. ***. Every moment you give away to distraction is a moment you never get back. You think you're just checking your messages, but you're training your brain to crave interruption. Epictetus said, "If you wish to improve, be content to appear foolish and stupid with regard to external things." He wasn't talking about ignorance. He meant this: you must stop caring about the noise that doesn't matter. The modern world feeds on your attention. Apps, ads, entertainment, they all compete for the one thing that gives your life direction. Focus. When you lose focus, you lose everything else: your discipline, your creativity, your peace. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "Ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary?" That's the key. Every time you're tempted by distraction, ask yourself, is this necessary? Will it bring me closer to my purpose, or pull me further away? Focus is not about doing more. It's about doing less, better. If your life feels scattered, it's because you've let too many meaningless things inside your mental fortress. Close the gates. Detach from the things that don't serve your growth. Gossip, noise, envy, entertainment that dulls the mind. Remember this truth: a distracted man cannot be free. Freedom is not the absence of rules. Freedom is the ability to direct your mind wherever you choose, without being hijacked by impulses. So guard your attention like a fortress, because once you master your attention, you master your world. Rule 2. Accept the chaos, but control your response ***. You can't stop the world from being chaotic. You can't stop the noise, the interruptions, or the people who pull you off your path. But you can stop your reaction. The Stoics called this the dichotomy of control, the idea that some things are within your power, and most things are not. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." You lose focus not because life distracts you, but because you think everything should go your way. When something unexpected happens, you panic. You resist it. You complain. And in that resistance, your focus dissolves. The Stoic solution is radical acceptance. Accept the chaos. Accept interruptions. Accept the noise. Then choose your response. Imagine this: you're working deeply, and someone calls you wasting your time. You feel irritation rise, your peace cracking. But a Stoic mind says, "This is outside my control. My only duty is to respond with clarity." You take a breath. You deal with it calmly. You return to your task. Focus is not silence. Focus is composure in noise. Life will never slow down for you. The world will never become quiet enough for perfect concentration. So you must learn to carry stillness within you. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Most of your mental exhaustion comes from resistance, not from work itself. When you stop fighting the inevitable and start focusing on your inner state, energy returns. Accept the chaos. Control your response. That's how you build mental armor that nothing can pierce. Rule 3. Remember death. Memento mori asterisk asterisk. If you truly want to focus, remember that you are going to die. The Stoics called it memento mori. Remember that you will die. Why think of death when you're trying to focus? Because death clarifies. When you remember your time is finite, the noise loses power. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Think about that. If today were your last day, would you waste it on petty distractions? Would you spend it scrolling through meaningless feeds? Or would you use it to create something lasting, something real? Memento mori is not a morbid idea. It's a compass. It slices through illusion and reminds you what actually matters. Every distraction whispers, "You have time." But the Stoic knows time is the one thing you can never get back. When you live with this awareness, every moment becomes sacred. Focus stops being a productivity hack and becomes an act of gratitude. You begin to live deliberately because you understand that every distraction is a thief disguised as entertainment. Seneca said, "It is not that life is short, but that we make it so." Stop wasting it. Focus not because it's efficient, but because it's honest. You owe yourself that. Rule 4. Live by the inner scorecard asterisk asterisk. Most people lose focus because they're performing for the world. They're addicted to being seen, validated, approved. They check if people liked their post, admired their success, or noticed their progress. They build their lives around external scorecards, what others think. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. Be content with being thought foolish for not caring about what does not matter. Epictetus said, "When someone criticizes you, remember, you are not upset by what they say, but by your opinion of it." Here's the truth. You can't focus if you're always acting for an audience. Every time you seek approval, you hand over control of your mind. You become a puppet, and the strings are pulled by other people's opinions. Focus requires internal authority, the ability to say, "I don't care how this looks. I care that it's right." Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "It is possible to live a good life even in a palace," meaning even surrounded by temptation and praise, you can stay grounded if you live by your own standards. Your focus deepens when you stop performing and start living for truth. Ask yourself each morning, am I doing this for my soul or for applause? Only one of those leads to peace. When your sense of worth is internal, distractions lose power. You no longer chase attention. You create quietly. And that stillness, that self-reliance becomes your superpower. Rule 5. Discipline your mind like a soldier asterisk asterisk. The final rule is the hardest and the most important. Discipline your mind. Focus is not natural. It's trained. It's built in silence, repetition, and refusal. Marcus Aurelius woke up before dawn to write his thoughts. He reminded himself daily, at dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I am rising to do the work of a human being. That's Stoic discipline, not motivation, but duty. The mind is like a wild horse. If you don't control it, it drags you through chaos. If you train it, it carries you to greatness. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you could be. And the Stoics treated it as sacred. Seneca wrote, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Every time you resist distraction, you are proving yourself. Every time you sit with discomfort instead of escaping it, you are building focus. The world rewards those who can delay gratification, who can hold their attention while everyone else scatters theirs. Discipline means doing what's necessary, even when it's boring. It means facing silence without running to stimulation. It means mastering yourself. When your mind becomes disciplined, life becomes simple. You don't need motivation because you've built momentum. And that's the essence of Stoic focus. Not waiting to feel ready, but acting with purpose no matter what you feel. The still mind wins the war ***. The Stoics didn't live easy lives. Marcus Aurelius ruled during wars and plagues. Epictetus was born a slave. Seneca was betrayed by the emperor he served. And yet they remained calm, focused, grounded, because they understood something we've forgotten. Peace is not the absence of noise. It's the mastery of it. You can't control the world, but you can control what you give your attention to. Guard it like a fortress. Accept what you cannot change. Remember death and live deliberately. Stop performing for others. Discipline your mind like a soldier. That's how you stay focused when life tries to distract you. So the next time the world pulls at you, pause, take a breath, and remember Marcus Aurelius' words. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Stay focused, stay grounded, and live like a Stoic. Focus isn't built in a single morning. It's forged in the long war against your own impulses. The Stoics knew this. They knew that the greatest battles are not fought with swords or armies, but within the mind. That's why Marcus Aurelius, even as Emperor of Rome, spent his nights writing to himself, not to his generals. Because he understood, if you lose command over your mind, you lose command over your life. And maybe that's where you are right now. You've felt it, that tug of war between what you want to do and what you actually do. You wake up determined to stay focused, to build your future, to live deliberately. But by nightfall, your energy has been scattered across 1,000 meaningless things. You tell yourself you'll try harder tomorrow. But tomorrow becomes another today, and the cycle continues. Here's the truth most people never accept. Focus is not a mood. It's a way of being. It's not about feeling ready. It's about becoming ruthless with your attention, because the world will not respect it unless you do. The modern world rewards noise, praises busyness, not depth. It glorifies hustle, not reflection. But you cannot build peace out of chaos, nor power out of distraction. The Stoics didn't just reject distraction, they replaced it with meaning. The hidden cost of distraction. Every time you lose focus, you pay a price, but not just in time. You lose a little of your clarity, your sense of direction, your ability to sit alone with your own thoughts. And when a man loses those things, he becomes easy to control. That's what the Stoics feared most. Not death, not failure, but mental slavery. Epictetus warned his students, No man is free who is not master of himself. When you can't control your own attention, you are a slave to the world's agenda. You may look successful. You may look busy. But your mind is owned by whoever can distract it. This is why Stoicism feels so radical today, because it's rebellion through restraint. In a world addicted to reaction, stillness is an act of defiance. The power of stillness. Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow and don't touch your phone for the first hour. You sit quietly. You write. You breathe. You let your mind settle. In that silence, something happens. Your thoughts slow down. You begin to hear your own voice again. Not the noise of the world, but the whisper of your inner reason. That's what Marcus Aurelius called the guiding mind. He wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." That's the goal of Stoic focus, not perfection, not productivity, but peace. To live with a mind so disciplined, so clear, that no noise can shake it. Stillness doesn't mean you stop acting. It means you act from strength, not fear. You move with purpose, not impulse. And that's the difference between existing and living. Rebuilding focus in a noisy world. If you want to rebuild your focus, you must return to the basics. Wake up with intention. Don't reach for distraction. Reach for direction. Decide your purpose before the world decides it for you. Protect your mornings. What you do in the first hour determines the quality of the next 12. The Stoics started their days with reflection, not reaction. They asked, "What is in my control today? What is not?" Then they acted accordingly. You can do the same. When you wake up, remind yourself, "I will not chase what I cannot control. I will not waste what I cannot replace. I will not hand over my peace for the illusion of progress." If you live like that, you'll notice something strange. Your energy returns. Because energy is not lost from effort. It's lost from friction. Every distraction, every emotional reaction, every wasted thought, that's where your strength leaks. Plug those leaks, and your focus becomes unstoppable.